A warm welcome to all my lovely audience on Icy Tales today. Today on my left, we can see Dr. Shashi. She is here to tell us about skincare, hair care, and everything in between. So, without holding up further, let's welcome her. Hi, ma'am. Welcome. How are you, and how does it feel to be here?
Thank you so much for having me here, Hiba. It's a great pleasure, and I'm really a big fan of the work that you guys do. So, yeah, really happy to be here today.
Thank you very much for that appreciation, ma'am. So, with that being said, can we get started?
Sure.
Yes, so let's just get to know each other in the beginning. So, you are a doctor. So, what made you decide that you wanted to be a doctor, and what's the backstory behind your profession?
It's actually a pretty long story. From the beginning itself, I have been sort of a studious child in school, and I was the firstborn. So, like every other Indian parents, they wanted to get me, if it's a girl,
Mm,
she has to be a doctor. If it's a boy, he has to be an engineer. So it was that sort of a situation. And I was good at studies, so they, sort of pushed me a little, and I ended up getting my degree. I did my MBBS, but then the dilemma started from there because I have been more on the creative side since forever. So because I put in so much of effort into my doctorate, I my made my days and nights equal, passing the exams. So I did not wanted to leave that profession either. And it was during the college days itself, when I actually got into creating content. And back then, some of my older subscribers might still remember. I used to make DIY videos back then, so it was a sort of a hobby. And that's when I asked my dad to give me a camera. He got me
mm,
one, and in my free time, apart from my study, so that is what I used to do at that time. So I
mm,
used to create these crafty little things, record those, edit, all the videos myself, and upload those on YouTube.
mm.
So I had a pretty good, I think 60, 70 KK around following at that time. So my channel was pretty good, but eventually, as I grew up, I did not want to leave medicine because, consulting patients, treating them, and, the difference that you see the first time a patient walks in, to consult you, and the second time that he comes for a follow up, all happy, all healed,
Yeah.
with whatever concerns that person had. So that feeling is something which kept me. You know, Holding on to my profession. I did not want to leave that, but art was another thing which so it was sort of I was hanging in between both of these things.
Okay.
Then after the lockdown, that is when I learned about this branch called aesthetic medicine.
Okay.
So, in aesthetics, because I did not want to go into, the usual MD, and doing, post graduation in MD or MS. So, this was something which really appealed to me, because it involved a lot of beauty, aesthetics. I could dress the way I want to. I, could still continue to make, create videos,
Yeah.
on YouTube or Instagram, wherever I wanted. So this profession really appealed to me. This was something that from the very first day, I knew I would be able to do this pretty well. And that is, when I, totally got into the profession, I left, not really left. So I still, paint sometimes just as a hobby whenever I get time, which is really less. But yeah, so here, at present, I am able to see patients, I am able to treat them, I am able to do aesthetic procedures, and at the same time, I'm able to create content. So currently, I'm doing everything I love.
Very, very nice to know that you're balancing everything together and you love what you're doing. So great job on that, ma'am. Let's move on to our next.
That job satisfaction wise, I am absolutely at the peak of it. I absolutely love what I
Just by the way you explained your entire story, I could see the happiness.
do.
So great job on. Let's move on to our next question. So I'm sure in everything
Mhm.
that you do, there is something that stands out to you. So what is something that you love about your profession?
No, as I already told you, so currently I have been taking online consultations for skin and hair for almost 2.5 to 3 years now. So, the thing, because when a patient comes to me, like, because, hair and skin makes a huge part of your appearance. It, if they're not in a healthy state, it can ruin a person's confidence. So when a person comes to me with all those problems, I sit them down, I give them good half an hour consultation, and everything, not just medication, but everything from their lifestyle to their food, things that they need to change. So everything I counsel them about. And the next time when they walk in, with a happy face, and with their concerns, eventually healing. So I think that feeling, that it really gives me gratification that I have helped somebody gain confidence. Because growing up, even I have had acne all my teenage, and I still have adult acne breakouts at times right now. So I totally feel how a person, feels, how the confidence can, really get to the bottom when you have these concerns. So connecting with my patients that way, and helping them through the journey, is something that really keeps me going all the time.
What you said like just connects to my next question, because I wanted to ask this and anyway still ask it. So let's see if you have something more to say. So you said people who have acne on their face, they lose a lot of confidence. So what message would you want to give people who feel insecure about their skin?
See, and this is something that I have learned a very hard way. I have had acne since I was, what, 12, 13, ever since I got into my teenage. And at that time, the thing that I do today. So at that time, every doctor that I went to, every dermat that I went to, it was literally a 5 to 10 minute consultation. They used to just prescribe the medication, and this is something which almost everybody would relate to. Today, things have changed a lot. So most of the doctors, most of the dermats, do take pretty good consultations these days. But back in the day, that was the situation, and we were always told, acne is only a teenage thing. It is going to go away. So you don't really need to do anything about it. So there were not enough people who used to understand the trauma of getting acne. So I think I can always relate to that particular situation. And whenever I had acne, it always used to make me. I'm saying used to because now I'm very okay with my skin. Like a lot of a lot of times, because internet pay, if you're putting up content on internet, you are opening yourself to both criticism as well as appreciation.
Right.
So there are a lot of people that still point out that you use so many things, but you still have acne. You are a skin doctor, but you still have acne. Why don't you treat your situation first? But the thing to understand is, having acne is a skin type. Okay, so I am born with an acne-prone skin. I know for sure it's not never going to go away. So now, whenever I do get acne breakout, I don't hate my skin. It doesn't lower my confidence, because I see myself beyond that. I have a lot many qualities that somebody with a crystal clear glass skin would not have. So I appreciate myself for more than my skin. So I think that confidence is something that has come after I totally understand, the acne situation or the skin condition that I, have been. So I think that knowledge of everything that has happened to me is what, gives me that sort of confidence today. So unless you know the root cause of your situation, unless you know what is causing it, what exactly it is, will you be able to get rid of it? Is it possible to cure it, or is it just, you'll be able to control it and just live with it that way? So I think that knowledge and that, sense of knowing a particular thing is what, really, helps you gain that confidence back. So it's no big deal. If you have acne, it is absolutely normal. You are still a beautiful person inside and out.
I'm sure everybody watching this will totally relate, because this is a topic which I think teenagers like me will relate to most, because we get to hear comments from people. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on this topic, ma'am. Very, very valuable. Let's move on to our next question. So I'm sure in hair care and skincare, so many myths run around the society. Like people tell something else which is not even true. So is there any myth in skin and hair care which you would like to bust today?
There are a lot, many actually, because the biggest thing that have been circulating these days. I have seen a lot of celebrities, Alia Bhatt, and so many others just share their skincare routine. I tend to not share my skincare routine that ways. So a lot of people think that a routine that is working for a particular person is going to work for me as well. If this treated acne for this person, it is going to treat my acne as well, or any other skin concern for that matter. That usually never happens. It's very individual. It's a very unique to every person. All right, and the second thing is drinking water. All right, so it can hydrate your skin for sure, okay, but it is not going to cure your skin condition or hair condition that you're having. All right, it can be helpful, but it cannot heal anything like that. Right. So there are a lots actually. So I think the first one would be to not blindly follow what somebody else is doing. Just do your research. Read about things instead of copying it from the internet and Instagram and YouTube.
Very, very rightly said, because even I know so many people who just look up the internet and they follow that. My mom also, she does that, like 1 week's skincare routine. That's the whole thing. But then when she watches, she will know what is right and what is wrong. So thank you so much for those thoughts as well. My next question, being a skin and hair care specialist, you might have some basic tips which you can give to our audience. So give us some basic tips for maintaining good hair and good skin.
Yeah, so I get a lot of patients. They would tell me everything that is wrong with their diet and lifestyle. They would actually diagnose themselves, if I may say so. They would tell me that I've been eating a lot of junk. They tell me that I have been eating a lot of sweets. They say, but I'm getting acne. Please help me with it. Your lifestyle is 70 to 80% of what makes up your skin and hair. If you ignore that, no skincare is going to help you. No matter how much you spend on the products, it is not going to work for you. So you always need to prioritize your lifestyle, your diet, how you sleep, and the stress levels in your life. So these has to be managed first. If you're able to do that, even if you use just the basic skincare, your skin would still stay healthy, your hair would still stay healthy.
Correct.
And secondly, always stick to your basics. For skin, sunscreen, moisturizer, face wash. If you get these three right, you have to get these three right first, and then you move on to the extras, based on your skin concerns. So just follow the basics. You don't have to buy everything on the shelf. If a brand is has come up with a product, you don't necessarily need to try it, and that's what we are here for. So I try out the things, and I let my audience know which is worth it and which is not. So I stay very clear and sort of crystal clear about things that I actually like and would work. So yeah, that is that about skin. It's all your lifestyle. Honestly, you cannot ignore that front and shell out your money on products and expect good results. It is not going to happen.
Lifestyle is connected with everything that we do. So
Definitely.
thank you for sharing that message with us. Let's move on to our last question. This question is a very, very interesting question. So you can think and let me know whatever you want. Nobody will judge you. So you said in your family you're the firstborn, and it's like Beti. If it's a daughter, there'll be she'll be a doctor, son is engineer. But if not, apart from all that influence or anything, if not a doctor, what do you think you would be and why?
I would have been something to do with art. So probably some sort of designer. I would have designed some sort of product. It could be bags, it could be shoes. That is something which I'm really crazy about. So yeah, I would have been a designer if not a doctor.
It would have been very nice to see your designer page as well on Instagram. So hopefully on the parallel universe, you are a designer. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Hopefully, but no regrets at all. I absolutely love what I do.
Yes.
On like today.
Yes.
So
At the
yeah,
end of the day,
absolutely no regrets about that.
no regrets. So
Yeah,
great job, ma'am. Thank you so much for
everything
sharing
worked
this.
out so good.
I think it was a great Sunday afternoon getting your thoughts and sharing your. Thank you so much for your time, ma'am. I had a great time doing this with you.
Same here, Hiba. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope you guys have a great day ahead. And thank you for the arranging this interview and helping me take out a few things that I might not have stated upfront to a lot of people.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a great day.